And like I was saying on the first stream, that there's a lot of orange. I kind of apologize. I think I've kind of overdone the orange today. I'll have to remember, if I'm going to wear an orange shirt, I should probably change the background or just not wear an orange shirt from now on. Terry Taylor says, I wish the election was over, Biden reelected, take the House, keep the Senate, and work toward expanding SCOTUS, codifying abortion rights, and so much more. Me too. I think we're all chomping at the bit, right? We can't wait for Roevember to get here. And so, you know, it's going to be Roevember. That's all I got to say. And I know we're all chomping at the bit. I know the Terry Taylors of the world are chomping at the bit. The Trucker Johns of the world are chomping at the bit. We're going to show up. We're going to show up. And, so we got to do. We got to do it. We just got to do it. And I am all in favor of all those things you brought up, Terry. WW says, yep, I've been outside mowing. Yep, he's been outside mowing. And working with my fencing guys. Touche, you guys are fencing. They did the hard work, but I am beat. Big Hook, the testimony in the Stormy case, along with the paperwork trail, is making it next to impossible to deny he committed election fraud. Hopefully, this hurts his chances with his base. I think his base is shrinking. If you saw on Hal Sparks last night, he covered that rally he did in Michigan. He's out at an airfield. I bet you there wasn't more than like 100 people there. I don't know. And he wants to talk like he gets these big crowds. He couldn't go to an arena because he can't fill it. He can't even, half fill it. I think he's losing his base. And you can see that in these primaries where he, instead of getting, 90% of the vote, he's getting 70% of the vote. And Nikki Haley, who dropped out months ago, is getting, a third of the vote or whatever. Maybe not a third, but she's getting, a substantial amount of votes. I think, it takes a while. That the masses are asses. Because it takes a while for things to filter through, and as more and more of this stuff comes out of his felonies, people are starting to fall away. So at least that's the way I see it. I have no facts to back this up, as the late great Herman Cain once said. WW says the judges are already letting him get by with more than most would be allowed. Well, yeah. That is true, but he did fine him, and the judge was saying, like, I think that just fining him isn't enough. He might need to go do jail time for that. Terry Taylor says, Pisces, indeed, I'm just so full of anxiety. Well, Terry, I know these are anxious times, but just before you know it, it's going to be voting time, and I really think, like I said, it's going to be Roevember. It's going to be Roarvember. Maybe we should call it Roarvember. It's like, I am woman, hear me roar. It's going to be Roarvember, man. Well, let's think positively, but let's not be naive either. I mean, we got to vote. We got to do the work. We got to get out there and vote. We got to encourage others to vote. Do that whole thing, bring someone with you to the polling place or whatever, Pisces Reader says, yes, voting helps. Voting, voting is essential. Voting is the main thing. That's the main thing that you and I, that we have. That's our number one big power, and it's a huge power, so we need to utilize it, don't take it for granted. That's what I'm trying to say, in my own kind of way. I know Blinken has been over there working tirelessly to get a deal going, to get them to cease fire and to get Hamas to release hostages and all that kind of stuff. I know Biden and Blinken and everyone else, they've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work, trying to get this thing worked out. But I think I think we're finding a lot of these protests. They had, like we were talking on Tuesday, these agent provocateurs, these saboteurs. They've got outsiders coming in to stir up shit, man. And a lot of these kids, I think, and they're getting information from TikTok or whatever. Man, consider your sources, people. Get verified sources. Trusted sources. Don't just believe the first thing you see. Rudy Giuliani put up, what was it, like 60 cases trying to say that the vote was rigged or whatever, and all 60 of them were like basically thrown out because they did. It's one thing to go in front of cameras and news cameras and spat a bunch of shit, but when you're in court, you got to bring the receipts, as the kids say. Talking about kids, right? You got to bring the receipts. You got to bring some proof. You got to bring some evidence. And they brought as one might say, bupkis. They brought bupkis. Is that the word? They brought. Let's just say they brought diddly. Diddly squat. I think that's the official lawyering term. It was diddly squat. And every single court they took it into, they said, you have brought a good sir diddly squat, so would you please remove your stinky ass from my court? 60 times they were told to do that. So yeah. If Trump got back in the White House, I think that would also mean that we probably wouldn't get the House back, and we might even lose the Senate. If it goes that way, then watch out. Look what they're doing with reproductive rights in these red states, and look what the Supreme Court has done. I mean, and they had the Supreme Court. So if Trump got back into the White House, and he's got the Supreme Court, and he has either branch of Congress, they can start doing all kinds of shit, way more than they've already done. That's all they got to do. Is start with the court. They got the court in their pockets, and we got to vote for Joe Biden, and we got to vote for Democrats. Really down ticket. And a lot of people, they don't like to say that. They don't like that because it's like, I'm not a sheep, and I'm not gonna just vote just all for Democrats. Because I'm not a sheep, god damn it. Like if I say vote blue no matter who, I'm not a sheep. I'm independent, and I'm vote. Well, fine, be independent, but I'm just saying, especially when it comes to the U.S. Congress and the U.S. President, I think we got to vote blue all through there. Got to vote blue all through. When we're talking about, getting those numbers, getting those, so we can hold the majorities, and then we can actually do some shit. If learning the lesson from 2016, we don't take anything for granted. So we need to vote, and we need to encourage everyone to vote, and we need to expose Trump for being the lying, cheating, manipulating, grifting, con man, piece of shit that he is. This thing has pockets. See, there's a pocket here. Right here. And there's another pocket over here that has pockets on each side. Look at this one, even has like a little Velcro thing. You could put like a sandwich in there and maybe a juice box. So look at me. I've got my hard hat on. I got my safety vest. I'm feeling safe over here. How would Donald Trump handle the Israeli-Gaza war differently than Joe Biden? And would he be better or would he be worse? That's what, at the end of the day, we need to come together on that. We can have differences opinion about how the war should be handled and all that kind of stuff. And if Israel is right, and if they have the right to defend themselves, and if they've gone overboard with overkill, we can all have those our opinions on that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, when it comes to November 5th, voting day, we need to all come together, and we really need to be, I think, in agreement that Joe Biden is the better chance of there ever being any peace in the Middle East and there being any shot at any type of a two-state solution, any shot of even just, we're not even there yet. I mean, of just getting this war shut down, you know, and starting to try to stop the bombs and stop the killing, and try to just get people fed and sheltered. If you have any desire for that to happen, then I think we all need to agree that there's a much better chance of that happening with Joe Biden as the president than Donald Trump, because Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck. Does not give a fuck about the Palestinian people. And as far as he's concerned, he would just tell Netanyahu, just have at it. Just bomb them back to the Stone Ages. You know, he would just say, kill them all, you know. That's what Trump would do. So you think that the chances of peace and having good outcomes in Gaza and the Middle East under Trump, if you think that, then you're delusional. I mean, I'm all for protesting. I'm all for peaceful protesting. Peaceful protesting is the key. And when you start seeing a lot of this like vandalism and destruction of school property going on, and then you saw some fistfights and stuff going on, those are outsiders, I believe, for the most part. It's either outsiders or it's outsiders agitating, you know, the kids, the college kids, and putting them up to it. So yeah, that it doesn't feel right to me either. Well, I'm doing my best here. I'm wearing my silly hat and my silly vest. What am I supposed to do now? Juggle? If I knew how to juggle, I would be juggling some shit. Maybe I should juggle chainsaws. And maybe I'll get 500 viewers. I'm not your clown. Do I amuse you? Do you find me amusing? I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Maybe I need to do. Maybe I just need to do more the purple beard guy. How's that? Come on, let's get that viewership up. I need 500 people on here stacked. You don't find the tough cookie man entertaining? That's the entertainment portion of the show. And the viewership went up to 18. Look at there. We went from 16 to 18. So, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe I do need some more entertaining stuff. Moonchild says, you look like a decent guy. Well, thank you, Moonchild. Thank you for that. I'll take decent. I'll take decent any day of the week over the alternative, I guess. Trump in court for farting up the place. Just stinking up the place, making everyone feel miserable. While he farts and snores. Make sure you stretch, because you do not want to pull a hammy.